Hey guys, hope everything is going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH underscore sports. Follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance. Okay, and I'll be probably posting another video tonight. It's not going to be that long, but anyways, make sure to check out my finance channel because that's also one of my hobbies as well. Okay, so today I'm looking at price action of collectibles. I'm looking at the hype and I'm looking at how, in my opinion, this resembles penny stocks and the pumping that goes on with penny stocks. A lot of people were coming at me in the comment section earlier this year. Some people that are also content creators were coming after me, but ultimately my mind hasn't changed despite all the attacks on me. And I'll explain why. So, what happened over a decade ago? There was this one company, National Inflation Association, and this one investor, he speculates a lot in precious metals, Peter Schiff. He first of all stated that he believed they were engaged in this pump and dump scheme. I'll play the clip here. This was
the opportunity to make it perfectly clear that neither our organization, anybody who works for our organization, or anybody affiliated with our organization was a shareholder of, owns a single share of Mega Precious Metals, or has ever owned a single share of Mega Precious Metals. We are shocked that this traditional old-fashioned stockbroker, who we used to have so much respect for, would outright lie and say that NIA pumped and dumped the stock without presenting a shred of evidence. It is impossible for someone to pump and dump a stock if they never bought or sold it. Now, first of all, I never accused them of this. I never said that NIA owned the shares or sold the shares. No. I specifically said that I believed that they were paid by a third party. See, the pumper and the dumper don't have to be the same person. I believe that NIA pumped the stock so that a third party can dump their shares, and that third party paid NIA to pump up the shares so that they can sell. And the most incriminating part of their reaction is not once did they address this allegation. That was the heart of my allegation, that this was a pump and dump in disguise, that they were paid and didn't disclose that conflict of interest. And they didn't even bring it up. In fact, I knew that they didn't own any stock. They said that in the pump and dump piece. In the original email, they disclosed, they said that NIA does not own any shares of Mega Precious Metals. And I even thought that was a fraudulent disclosure because I think there was a nefarious purpose to that point. They were trying to create the false impression among their members that there was no conflict of interest. After all, NIA didn't own the stock, and so we didn't benefit from this recommendation. But what they didn't state is that they were paid, and that's how they benefited. And what they didn't state was that their client, whoever paid them, had a vested interest because they were looking to sell the stock, and they needed NIA to find the buyers, which also explains the way they wrote the piece, the language that they chose. Now,
from 11 years ago. So ultimately, Peter Schiff believes that they were engaged in the hanky panky. They were essentially using front companies. That's what he believed. He believed that they were maybe using front companies to buy up the stocks, right? And then they would use their huge mailing list saying that, oh, this is a great stock. This is amazing. This has great top line growth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But in reality, it was just a speculative gold miner, or they branched down to other stocks as well. And I remember some of these stocks, they went from a couple of dollars to over $30, $40. Like some of the price action that you see in collectibles resembled the penny stock pumping, or what I believe to be pumping over a decade ago. You saw this huge run up and this huge meltdown. And if you look at this, you have to look at, okay, look at the PMGs, for instance, right? That resembled, in my opinion, a pump and dump, right? You saw these cards that were priced very cheaply, and then you saw a huge run up, and then you had all this influencer marketing. You may have had some funds in on it, and who knows if these funds were giving people kickbacks, and then the price went down. Now, I'm not sure if the tax came on me because some people in on it were ticked off that I was making the videos, or people just didn't understand the concept, or it may have been a combination of both. So you had that situation, and then some people were making the counter argument like, no, these are strong sales and this and that, this and that. And what I would say is that if you look at markets in general, like I'll give you an example. The oil futures contract, the front month, I saw the volume today, 310,000 contracts of an oil future contract traded. And each contract is worth $90,000 or $92,000, whatever the price of oil is, right? You take 92.83, that's what the West Texas Intermediate crude price. You take that, you multiply that by 1,000. So $92,000 contract, okay? And then 300,000 contracts of $90,000 were traded, right? That's a liquid market, okay? You have all these guys in the industry saying, hey, this market's liquid, this market's liquid. Well, I'm looking at all of these other stocks out there, futures contracts, it is very liquid. Even penny stocks, which I consider to be illiquid, has much more volume than some of these collectibles that we trade, right? You could have maybe 1,000, 2,000, and then if it's pumped up, you could have hundreds of thousands of shares traded, right, of some of these penny stocks. And with some of these collectibles, you have not too many sales. You could have maybe 10 sales in a month. So just imagine, some dude buys up all of these cards, uses influencer marketing or uses the influencers, potentially gives them kickbacks. Hopefully that's not the case, but I would not be surprised if that's happening. In my opinion, that happened with NBA Top Shot. So you had low volume, and then you have the pump going up, right? You have all this marketing going up, and then the people that bought in early are just dumping into the dumb money, buying in at the wrong time. I mean, we've all been dumb money at some point in our investing, or whenever we've invested, we've been dumb money at times, okay? There's no doubt about that. So the way that I look at this is you have low volume, just like penny stocks, in the collectibles arena. And with this low volume, and I'm not talking about this, Zion Williamson PSA 10 cards, which have, over 10,000 PSA 10s. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that has virtually no sales a month. Maybe not virtually no sales, but let's just say 10 to 15 sales, and then you see the pump up, right? You see with the PMGs, right? What I saw with the PMGs earlier this year, you had a sale on Golden, right? It was hyped to the moon. Had $80,000, I believe, one sale, and then it crashed down to $15,000. And then it's gone down ever since. You saw the Fleer 86 cards. What happened was you had this being pumped up by influencers, And eventually, the market came tumbling down. You ran out of buyers. So you have all of these things going on. You have Star Wars. Someone could say that, hey, this thing's being pumped. I'd say that Disney is now being pumped. So ultimately, to avoid getting hurt in this hobby, if you see all the influencers coming in at the same time promoting this product, and they may not have any evil intention, by the way. Some may not, okay? Like these Spider-Man cards look really nice from Upper Deck, the 2021 cards that I highlighted the other day. All I'm saying is be careful when everyone is jumping in at the same time. Because what some people may want to do is they get a good card and they send it super express to PSA, and then they get the card, show it on their YouTube channel, show it on the Instagram, and then people get excited, say, oh, look, this influencer has a really nice card. He's gonna make some good money. Yeah, he's probably, or she's probably going to send it to the auction house, and they'll profit first. First in, first out. Like that accounting principle, FIFO, right? For inventory. Well, they're just doing it to profit off of what they call the community. So you got to be careful about that. Now, if you want to collect and you like the hype and you have a lot of money, go knock yourself out. But the vast majority of people don't have the same money that Steve Aoki does. Steve Aoki can buy at the top and it doesn't affect his bottom line. He doesn't care because he's going to be going to concerts and he's going to get paid, right? He may have royalties from some of his other hits, like the songs that he did with Linkin Park. But regardless, all I'm saying is be careful, guys. And this, in my opinion, resembles how penny stocks operate. And once again, when you see the hype, just remember Josh Luber's paper. The hype cycle, the influencers want to make this continue on and on and on so they could potentially make a buck out of it. That's just my opinion out of that. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.